So, Richard, let's start with you. This time, are the Ravens now clearly the best team in the AFC?
No, Skip.
Okay.
I don't know who's the best team in the AFC because everybody's so inconsistent. You know, you got the Miami Dolphins, who may beat the team by 30 and then may lose by 2 touchdowns to the Buffalo Bills in London or Germany, wherever they played. And then you got the Jacksonville Jaguars, who play really good games, but then get blown out by the San Francisco 49ers. They just lost to the Cleveland Browns. Then you got the Baltimore Ravens, who win a game like this that you're trying to understand how the Rams were even in this game to begin with. The Rams are a 500 team, barely, keeping their head above water. A lot of people believe they have a bottom 5, bottom 10 roster. And Sean McVay is just coaching his behind off, and he's doing a great job. So then you got the Kansas City Chiefs and the games that they've lost to the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love, where this Kansas City defense that you thought was, hey, man, this is the strength of their team now, and they just disappear. And then they lose to the Buffalo Bills. So I don't know. The AFC is just up for grabs right now, Skip. I couldn't tell you who the best team is because nobody's shown it.
And that's why Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid was going crazy. They're like, this thing's still up for grabs, and you giving us these bad calls. We're right here. Right. Listen, I want to say the Ravens, are they clearly, is the question, the best team? Clearly, I'm going to say no. Are they the best team? I will say yeah, and I'll tell you why I would say no to the clearly. If you're going to be a special team in this league, you cannot rely on special teams. They must be something that's added. And in this game, even though I talked about it right here, I said the Rams would be a tough out because the Rams are with Puka and Cooper Kupp, or, hey, man, and Matthew Stafford, he loves throwing the ball anyway, and those are 2 quarterbacks playing wide receivers, and they all that scheme. They got a scheme master dude so great at it, and Sean McVay. They're causing problems for teams. They're doing it right now, and I thought that was going to be a tough out for the Baltimore Ravens. So I didn't mind the whole game. But when they got into overtime, I wanted to see Baltimore won the toss. Now let me see you go down and show me you got championship pedigree.
Nope.
In this game right here, 3 and out.
3 and out.
Okay, you punt the ball. Let me see your defensive championship pedigree. In this game right here. You see what I mean? Then they get the return and they win the ball game. So do I have them as the best team in the AFC? Yes, I do.
Just by a little.
But I got Miami right there with them. I got them as the best team because what Lamar, man, that play Lamar made down the goal line, where he was right there and he do a couple things and that ball right to Zay Jones like that. Listen, I only one person in the world can do that.
Right. That is correct.
Maybe him by himself can do that.
Yes,
you know what I mean? But it is so special. So I do have them as the best team right there with Miami. But now you see what's going on in Kansas City, Buffalo. Nobody else. Nobody else in the top AFC.
All right, I'm going to go good news and bad news here. And I'm not objective because I picked Baltimore before the year started to win it all, and I'm sticking with it over Dallas in the Super Bowl. Have I loved how they... No, I don't. Did I love how they played yesterday? I did not. But they did win the football game against a suddenly hot Rams who are starting to look a little bit like the Rams of 2 years ago because, listen, Matt Stafford can flat out wing it.
He can throw that ball.
He has arm talent and trick shot artistry that's at the highest level. I'll never forget, Bruce Arians said, there's only one guy I go out early to watch. Only one guy in the league. I go out to watch him warm up. When we're playing against Matt Stafford, I want to see him spin it in the warm-ups. He was that good yesterday because Cooper Kupp is starting to look like the Triple Crown winner of 2 years ago again. So to your point, Michael and Richard also, I mean, that was a hard game to win yesterday, and they finally figured out how to win it. Lamar is playing at an MVP level. I got Dak a little bit ahead, and I got Brock Purdy in there, but Lamar's in it. And if we could quickly see what he did yesterday on his touchdown passes and then the two-point conversion, if we could see this quickly. Here's the first touchdown. to likely is wide open, but he hit him, and he scored.
Yeah, and I told you I like this tight end. Now, Mark Andrews.
Here's your guy, Odell. A little late with it, but Odell was open.
Dude, I can't even tell you guys how hard of a catch
that was a shot to Zay Flowers. And then here's the 2-point. 2-point, zing.
Oh, my God.
That's what you're talking about,
that was
right?
A play.
That was a 2-point pass.
Right. That was a play.
Okay, now for the bad news, they have the hardest closing schedule in all of football. It's ranked #1 toughest because they go at Jacksonville, at 49ers, Dolphins at home, and then obviously arch rival Steelers at home, and you never know what could happen in a game of that magnitude against that team coached by that coach on the final Sunday. So they're going to have to earn it down the stretch. I think they're capable of it because they just keep making plays. And by the way, Lamar also led them in rushing, which I can't even fathom that he keeps doing this. He had 11 carries for 70 yards with the longest 16. And usually they rush it for much better than they did yesterday, but it took his 70 to get them to 139. So the Rams are playing at a high level on both sides of the ball. Right. So I don't love anything about the Ravens except they win games because their quarterback is a flat-out baller.
Let me tell you this, guys, because I told you guys I interviewed Odell Beckham this week for the other show, and one of the things we were talking about was, since he's gotten there, right? I said, Odell, what has it been like, the transition and working with Lamar Jackson? He said, it's been a process for both of us. You know, it made me think about it, because Odell's a route runner. Right. You know, he's going to be open when he's supposed to be open, and you have to throw the ball. I thought about this, and he was talking when he says process for both. Why would it be a process for Lamar? And it made me think, it's a process for Lamar because he's not used to seeing receivers open on the first route. So now, when I'm sitting up and falling in love with him sitting in the pocket, it's because he's also learning, Odell, I got to sit in this pocket and let that ball go and expect you to be there. You see, he's only had receivers where, that first route ain't there. Let me move around, second and third route. Now, it's not just a learning process for Odell, but also for the quarterback to let this ball go right now, trust this ball. So I see Baltimore still getting better. That four-pump touchdown, trust me, I ran 4-pump as best as anybody in the world. That's the only way I can get behind
talk, playmaker.
Is running that 4-pump, because I can run that in route. That 4-pump was a horrible throw,
it was,
but a touchdown anyway, because he beat him, and you had the whole field. Lamar could have thrown that ball whole field and made an easy throw, but Odell had to turn his back in the air. That's the hardest throw in the world. That's the hardest catch in the world to make. But he still made that play. They're still getting better, even though we're looking at where they are right now.
It's crazy because, I mean, that's a similar catch to what Tyreek did last week, and people aren't making as big of a deal. That's just as hard as what
that's
Tyreek.
A hard catch.
That's a hard catch. I have a hard time believing in this Ravens offense, Skip. I know you said Lamar is the MVP candidate. I cannot believe he is. He has 16 passing touchdowns on the season in 13 games. I just don't see that as elite stats. And he has had amazing seasons. Again, the MVP season he had 50 total touchdowns. Right now, I think he has 21, maybe 22. And so that's not on the same pace as what he's done before. But this team is finding a way to win games. I just don't think it's sustainable. You cannot play this backyard brand of football, be 19th in the league in passing yards, and win these games. But they are #1 in rushing. Their defense is second in the league in scoring defense. But then you get concerned when these big games come up. When these division games come up. They've lost to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They lost a shootout to the Cleveland Browns. Then they win the game against the Chargers, but now we're seeing the Chargers offense is pedestrian. I mean, they had 6 points versus the Patriots. They a measly 7 points this last week. So you're like, hey, maybe that offense wasn't what you thought it was. I look forward, if they see Cleveland in the playoffs, I mean, I don't know if we feel confident they're winning that game, regardless of what round they see them. So I don't want to say I totally believe in them like that until you show me y'all got to win these games.
Okay, if it comes down to
send them home.
Joe Flacco
sends them home.
If Joe Flacco sends Baltimore home.
Hey, Joe Flacco has some of the greatest postseason stats in the history of football. I don't know how he does it, but he did that. Here's the point, Richard. It seems to me it's going to come down to Baltimore and Miami. That's just the way it seems at this moment. Better coach between Baltimore and Miami. I'll take Baltimore's coach.
No question.
Better
Have to.
quarterback. I'll still take Lamar over Tua. I just will. When chips are down, push comes to shove, I'm going to take that. I will take Baltimore's defensive sort of legacy over Miami's defensive just the aura of it, their tradition of it,
and the physicalness.
and the physicality.
I just don't think you can trust them. You can't trust their offense, and then their defense is inconsistent in these big games. Just like you can't trust Miami's offense. But I think Mike McDaniels is going to draw up some problems for this defense, and we get to see it. We get to see it in the regular season. They play Baltimore in a few weeks.
You can't trust Miami's offense, but you cannot trust it. You can't take an eye off anybody on it because then, boop, you're in trouble, just like that. You know what I mean? So it's a whole
All I know
thing.
for sure is we got some great football ahead.
Yeah, we do. We good.
Okay.
All
All right. Up next, we got to talk
It ain't going through
Lakers
PNC.
Saturday night champions. What are the odds that Anthony Davis keeps playing the way he did Saturday night?
Wait, did you say Lakers champions?
Champions. They won the championship. It's over.
Hey,
it's
Parade
called
today in L.A.
The championship?
Come on now, Irv.
Oh, the championship?
Come on now.
That's what I told you.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.